I give Bruno a massage. It keeps him from getting seized up, I've found, particularly around the back end, because he's got a little bit of sort of dystrophy going on his muscles here, and he likes it. So I give him a good massage, get the blood going. Just 5 minutes, all that fur comes out. Oh, that's good, eh, boy, eh? You like that, eh? I get in his spine like that, all his back straps, all his back muscles like that there. He likes it. It's good. Yeah, it's a good dog, aren't you, eh, boy? Hey? You can tell he likes it. He's a good dog, eh? Particularly the back end round here. Some days this back end doesn't work at all well, and I find after a few days of massage he gets up a lot easier. And he likes it, don't you, boy? Hey? Good dog, eh? That's a good boy. And then when I finish doing his massage, like this, I get his blanket, that paste stole off him. It's a special blanket, and it really has helped him a lot. It just keeps him warm like a racehorse. Is that good, eh? Good boy. Well, that's the first. All 3 boxes have got ducks in them. And they're all on the lay. And old mate in the middle's making his nest up. And they've been rooting like rabbits, so we're probably going to get some baby ducklings. Cool. I've opened the pen up so they can go in and out as much as they like, so they can feed on the grass out in the paddock. Just cut the feed back there, eating a lot, and they're happier. And Ducky, well, she's a Muscovy, of course, not a Pekin duck. And she thinks she's superior to the rest. Pace actually sleeps in my bedroom now, don't you, mate? Yes. But every time I go outside, he goes back to the house truck. He lies on this bed here, which you're not supposed to be on. Puts his hair all over it. Yeah, mate. Come on, off there. One word from me. He does whatever he likes. A lot of farms people get woken up in the morning by their rooster. But I get woken up by this big brute. He's been barking for the last like half hour. Super early. Yes, mate. I'm here now. You can come out. Come on. Hey, boy. You'll be a bit stiff after a cold night in there all night. He's doing alright. This is my latest project here, this garden. And on top of this carpet, this old carpet, I've got all soil I've been getting ready to grow wasabi in. And on top of that, I've got horse poo. And the horse poo I'm going to use for my compost, which I'm building here. Got a post there. We're going to put another post in that corner. Cut this out. And another couple of posts here. So I want to put like 3 bays in, so I can have stages. We've had a lot of rain, as you can see. The tractors have sunken into my paddock. The ducks aren't complaining about it, they've been in that, but it's not great. Jamie Bear from Fence Works has got all the product ready to put my fence up. Once we get that up, we can have a few sheep, a few cattle. But still so wet underfoot, can't really do much. I sold all my baleage, and with that I've been able to afford to put a fence up. I've got a lot for the baleage, it went well, but the tractors also destroyed that. Bruno, come! I'm pretty tired this morning, didn't get a lot of sleep, been busy editing, making videos for you guys. Yeah, he's a bit stiff this morning, not quite looking for a place to have his morning pee. Oh, we won't film that. Oh, sorry Bruno, sorry mate. I'll tell you what though, it's actually important that he can poo well, because it's a sign he's still doing okay. I wouldn't say it's completely successful there, Bruno. He's doing the walking poo. Look like old people do the walking fart. He's making sure he spreads it around the property so there's little land mines everywhere. Great. Daniel will still be asleep. He sleeps in quite a bit. Some mornings he doesn't get up till like 9:30. I guess young people do that. I put a curtain rail on there last night, and I've got a curtain to go in the front, so he's got a little bit of privacy. Anyway, yeah. How you going? You have to excuse me if I'm a little bit slow this morning. Not a lot of sleep on board. The last sort of, I don't know, week, I've been getting to bed well after midnight, sometimes even 2 o'clock in the morning like last night, editing videos, and then back up again early. Mostly because Bruno doesn't let you sleep in. He starts barking between anything from 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and that's a good time to wake up, but not if you've only had like 4 or 5 hours on the other side of it. Come on, Bruno. Come on, Bruno. Bruno, come. So what I do now is I walk this little wanker here, Pace, I'll walk him with Bruno, and then I'll do the other dog separate, because Pace is trying to alpha over Bigsy, his son. It's not good if we have a dog fight, so I'm really keeping them separate right now until some nuts come out. I think I'll probably cut the nuts out of both of them. Taking your nuts out of your dog doesn't decrease the prey drive, but it does decrease the aggression. It's not necessarily a fix to aggression, but it does work. It certainly works if they're fighting over a bitch that's on heat somewhere. That goes out the window. Yes, aggression, and we all have aggression. Sometimes I think if I had my own nuts cut out when I was a younger man, I might have had an easier life, less trouble. They say on the farm that you shouldn't trust anything with nuts. The bull, the ram, the goat, none of the animals, the rooster, or the farmer. And testosterone has led to many action where someone's done something a bit irrational and paid the price later. What do they say? You've got to learn to, what's that saying? Fuck, it's a bit early in the morning for sayings. Respond instead of reacting. That's it. There we go. The brain's not quite ticking over yet. I'm walking around slightly in default mode. Although I always like the feeling of being a little bit tired. I don't know what that is. It's a bit like being on drugs, I suppose. Springtime's come really early this year. Listen to those birds. Just bloody awesome. They're a soundtrack for every video I make. I don't need to put music in the background of this. Listen to it. Springtime is here. And it means that we're probably going to get lots of ducklings, I reckon. Because they've all been they've been added all the time. Old Drake's raping every poor little duck. Pace, get him behind. Good dog. He's a very obedient dog. Pace. Good boy. That's a good boy. Straight in behind there. There he goes. Well, I've kind of sort of run out of things to do to make videos for you guys. And I've been trying to, well, I have been. I've been making a video every day. And sometimes I'm scratching my head a bit to make some content. But there's a few of you out there that still enjoy listening to this old bloke talk and do stuff around the farm. And I'm always amazed that I get people listening as much as they do. And this morning I woke up and thought, I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm going to do today. So what I'm doing is this, I'm just talking and telling you what's going on in my world. And what has been going on is that I decided I'd move him on. Back to the breeder, Wade Waller. Now the breeder's a really good breeder because he stands by his dogs. And if you're not happy with it, he'll replace it with something else. And he's so good like that. So many people aren't like that. Oh no, you're taking it now, mate. It's yours. You've had it for like 6 weeks. It's yours now. I'm not taking it back. Wade, you can have a dog for 3 years. You go, yeah, I'll take it back. And he'll sort you out with something else. He's not breeding to make money. He's breeding. There's no money in breeding dogs, really. There just isn't. Unless you're breeding those tiny little things about that big that are about $1 million each, those little fluffy lap dogs. No, he's breeding because he's just passionate about hunting and passionate about pig dogs. And his own breed is something that he's been working on since he was 16 years of age. He's always had dogs, and him and his brother have bred them. And now he's got his own sort of breed, which is not a bad breed. And Pace has become my main dog. I'm going to just pan around and show you the ducks on the pond, the native ducks. It's great to see them. So these guys here, the scalps, they're a native duck, I believe. And this is the first year we've had more because I shot all the pukeko at the end there. And very end just over here is where their nests always were and their babies were. And the pukekos would come and kill their babies and eat them. So I cleaned it out. There's still no pukekos down there. And it gave them a chance. Gave them a chance to get away. And as you can see, there's a nice, healthy, bloody population on there. It's good. I've been restless my whole life. I've always been restless. When I was a kid, I was restless. I was restless when I guess, what do they call it? ADD. You can't have any attention span for very long. And also being dyslexic made me hopeless with school. And in Abel Tasman National Park, where my dad was a ranger when I was 5, I lived there with my sister and my brother. My poor old mum tried to teach me stuff, and of course I couldn't my attention span was so short, it was impossible for her. They didn't know about things like that. They didn't even know what dyslexia was, or I was just fucked up. There's all these words. I was just fucked up. I couldn't really concentrate on one thing. My brain would be everywhere. And it didn't serve me any good purpose at all. It's just I would have had a dunce hat on my head like you have at school. You know the dumbest in the class. That was me, because I was not concentrating on what the teacher was saying and had no idea. And it must have been fucking frustrating for the teachers when I finally got to school. I didn't get to school till I was 8. I went to Wainui. I did a tiny little bit of school here in Richmond for about 3 months in Henley School, and then we shifted over to Tōtaranui, where Dad was a ranger there, and Mum tried to teach me for 2 years, and I'd be wanting to go and hunt quail or go fishing or go on these walks in the bush, which I did. And one time my dad was hunting some wild bull over in Anapai, and I sharpened up a piece of plywood and stuck it on a stick and went over there to hunt these wild bull. I was going to spear them with it. I had this triangle like a spear. I fashioned it in his workshop using one of his good rake handles. I've told a story about that. Him and another guy were hunting wild bull, and I went over there to help Dad out. I was only like 5, and I can remember hearing this laughter up ahead of me. And what it was this bull had just come out on the track in front of my dad, and they were trying to round them up. They had a rifle. They were going to shoot them if they were going to charge them, and they're trying to get them out of the park. And I hear Dad laughing his head off as this bull had just come straight towards him. He didn't know I was down below, so I got my spear ready and I was holding it. And I had this theory that if I stuck the back of the end of the spear in the ground and the bull ran into it, that the ground would take the impact, which in a way was a bit of logic for a 5-year-old. So I could feel the ground shaking as this bull was coming around the corner. You couldn't see it, but it was coming around the corner. And next minute this bull was just about down on top of me, and all my theory and everything went straight out the window, and I just jumped off the side of the track and the bull went past. I could actually feel it's like the air and the breath of it. What was I thinking? It was quite, I can remember that just like it was yesterday. And Dad comes around surprised to see me. "What are you doing here, son?" "Oh, I just come to get some bulls, Dad." "Right. These guys here have been here since I've been here, which is 15 years. Oh, there's a nice fat rabbit in the paddock over there. And they'll be doing what rabbits do at this time of year, making little rabbits. I love eating rabbit. It's probably my preference to hear a rabbit. And I shoot them regularly at about this time of year. I wait a little bit longer normally because they are making a lot of babies right now, and we kind of farm them here, like as in not shooting all of them. Oh, Murray does. He just shoots them and throws them on my dog kennels for dog tucker, but we eat them. And rabbit's just delicious. Just if you do it properly, it's absolutely delicious. So yeah, I was just talking about how I was pretty thick at school and went through and missed out on so much. And there was no way I was going to do an apprentice or be anything like a builder like Arb, or a mechanic, or an engineer like my father. Very, very clever man. I had all these great ideas, but the old brain was like too much everywhere. I was like, oh, great ideas, a real entrepreneurial type bloke, but unable to manage, couldn't manage your bloody anything, just hopeless. What's that saying? Couldn't manage your piss up in a brewery? I don't know. So that was me, and through life I went. But the thing about having a brain that's like that is it also has advantages to it. And one of the things that I can do that other people can't do is I can make stuff up on the spot. Actually, my nephew's really good at Mikhail's. He's good at ad-lib. I could go into a pub somewhere with a guitar and I could make a song up about anybody just off the top. Like it's sort of just bang, 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 bang. I could think like that. And when I was in Europe, one of the things I used to do because I played in an Irish pub circuit, and even I was playing in Germany, they have about 400 Irish pubs through there. And what I'd do is I'd go into a pub there, and if I had a bunch of English or a bunch of Irish in front of me, I'd just take the piss out of them all. I'd get a little bit of information about each guy. I'd say, "G'day mate, what's your name?" "Yeah, I'm Jack." "Oh yeah, Jack, is that your wife? What's her name?" "Elizabeth." "Oh yeah, what's the kids' names?" "Oh, I'll get the kids' names," because they bring the kids in the pub over there. Sort of family sort of pub, and it's funny that, isn't it? But I was really good at making up songs, and that there would be something which I'd actually get paid for. It wasn't the main part of my act, but it was part of my act. It's the 15th year that I've been living here, and renting this place prior to that to 12, 13 years. And I love this place. It's home. It's the first time I've ever settled. I've always been restless and I finally settled here. I never thought I'd own it. That was something I never thought. I'd rented it for all that time. Off Murray. And feels good. Feels good to finally be still. To put some roots down after constantly travelling. The thing about travelling is you take your troubles and you pack them up and you take them with you and you take them on your travels. People travel, and I'm guilty of it, to get away from things. I guess one of the things I was getting away from was my childhood. There was aspects of it that weren't good when I was very, very young, and I had to process that when I was travelling, but I didn't. It wasn't really until I came home, because when you're travelling, you're kind of like having these distractions all the time. You're not dealing with shit. And it wasn't until I actually come home and put roots down that I had to deal with stuff. And it's hard. It's hard. Because your scars from your childhood of things that have happened. And I had a number of things that happened. One of the things that happened was I was in hospital for a long time when I was very, very young, when I was 5. I had a scar on this. Well, I've still got it. There's a scar there you can see on my cheek. Which side is it on? I forget. It's been that long. Over 50 years ago now. I picked up this is what they think happened. I picked up a Japanese shoe off the beach of Totaranui from a Japanese fishing boat. We used to get the squid boats used to come right out. And I had this strange streptococcal type infection. They didn't know what it was. They'd only ever seen it in Asia. It wasn't from New Zealand. They couldn't work out how I got it. And I went to hospital, 2 hospitals. Eventually I went to Burwood Hospital in Christchurch, where they did plastic surgery on me. First hospital was Nelson. I was in there for over 2 months, and I suffered this terrible abandonment feeling. I thought I was going to die. I was only 5 and had no mum. It was in a strange place, and the nurses, some were cool, some weren't. And I really felt like I wasn't going to make it. And I did this thing where I'd make myself disappear. I'd make my body, get out of there, Pace. Pace, get in there. Chasing a rabbit. I'd do this thing where I'd make myself not feel anything, go numb. So I couldn't feel the pain of thinking I was going to die. I know it sounds weird, eh? One time I was walking along down this corridor and I can still remember it. Pace is gone. Yeah, Pace! Could be the wild cat too. There's a wild cat around here. We'll hear that. Oh, good boy. Get back in. Good dog. So I was walking down this corridor and I thought, oh, I'm not here. I'm not actually real, so it doesn't matter if I pee. There's people around me, and I peed everywhere. Like I got the old fella out and peed everywhere right in the middle of the corridor. And suddenly I realised I was alive, because I had this nurse come up and smack me on the ass. But in those days, kids got smacked. And I got told, oh, what are you doing? Pee all over the ground. So they couldn't work it out. I was in Nelson for a long time. Then they sent me down to Christchurch again. I was without my mum and getting plastic surgery. She stayed in a hotel for a bit. I did see her, but what happened there? No, I got sent down and picked up. That's right. Yeah, we stayed in a hotel one night, and then she went back to Totaranui, where Dad worked as a ranger. So all through my life, I had this feeling of, you can't rationale as a kid, and this feeling of being abandoned. I had abandonment issues, and they didn't go away. And so going to Europe and there, I was sort of running away from something all the time. And of course, hundreds of women, because I was a musician on stage and I was a young man back then. And I fucked myself senseless, and it didn't make anything better. For every woman I had, or multiple women, couldn't fill that gap. Come back home and realised I had to work on something in myself. And it's something you can't when it's your childhood. It's always there. And I don't feel so insecure anymore after years of sort of working through that. But some things just, people are affected, and other things people aren't affected at all. Someone else could have had the same experience as me and they'd be fine. They'd be, well, that was okay. I was just sensitive to that, and it didn't work out for me. And I'm not regretful for it either. And that sounds funny. I don't regret that. I don't regret it happened, because it's also who I am today. And I'm content and happy with who I am today. But I'll just sort of share it with you. These are the posts they used to have for the orchard. There was rows and rows of them. And right now I'm going to take this one out. Here comes Papa Joe, and I'll give this a shake. She's pretty solid on the ground still, but it will come out. Oh, there's a nail down here. I can feel something sharp in me. It was right down by the old fella. Ooh, that could have been deadly. It was like poking into me. They got loose really quick, eh?
Yeah, did I?
Like it was solid as to begin with. Legs. There's one post, Papa Joe. How easy was that? Oh. You can't buy them, so we're going to use this for our compost. Hey, that's cool. Got it. Oh, that's good. So that's going to be one. We need 4 of these for our compost. 4. I'll take this one up. Right down with lockdown, we can't buy any of this stuff. I can't use these posts because they're all dedicated for my new fences going up, but we can use these. And there's 1, 2, oh, we've only got 3, so we're going to need another one. Might be able to get one off Murray because we need 4 for our compost. Perfect. Right. That's good. I've been talking to my dad this morning because he's got a garden and a compost. He's also got a worm farm. So we're going to get some worms off him at some stage. But he said you need like 3 bays or more for your compost. And what you do is you put your first lot in the first bay, and when it's full, you put in the second bay, and then you start loading up again on the first bay. And then you do that process like 3 times because your compost is going to be turned at least 2 times. And by its times in the third bay, you've got stuff you can actually use in your garden. This is what we need. And there's the horse poo over there that I bought because I thought it'd be good to start the compost. I've actually got a compost start kit too. But first we need to build a compost. So we need more posts to get out of the ground. So Papa Joe's going to try and get this one out of the ground. I'm sure it won't be too difficult. They come out pretty easy. Don't break it. Oh, I think you just did you? Did you break it in the bottom? Sound like it just broke down the bottom. Oh, we'll find out in a minute. Oh, it's not a biggie. Get your legs, and I think you've broken snapped the bottom off. Must have gone rotten. So get your legs and lift that out, bud. Get a wee wriggle, it'll come. Yeah, she's loose. This should come out alright. Just use your legs. Just go into a squat. And use those big, strong legs, Papa Joe. Now you're talking to use the legs, not your back.
No, it's still in there.
Bit of a wriggle, bit of a wriggle. You got it, you got it. Good man. Too easy. Oh, yep. Okay, put it on your shoulder and go down the end. It didn't break either, something else, or maybe it cracked, but it looks good. That's a beauty. Cool.
I think it was just this part here.
Oh, yep. Yeah, it's going a bit rotten, eh? Okay, bring her over. So I had a woman write on the Facebook page asking about that young single guy. What's his name, she said. I said, well, that's Daniel. She asked a few more questions, and I said, you want his contact details? She said, yes. So I did what every man would do. I looked at her profile and I thought, she's not too bad, son, well done. And I thought, well, shall I pass on details to you? So I asked her. I said, do you want me to pass on Daniel's details? She went, why not? What does that make you feel like?
Oh, it's pretty interesting.
Well, you haven't seen her or talked to her yet,
Exactly.
but
yeah.
I know she's a bit older than you, bud.
Hey, who can complain?
Have you had many older women before?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, an old pro.
Usually by 2 to 3 years, but nothing.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like that.
Well, she's probably 2 to 3 years. He's an old pro. I said, you had any old woman? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Daniel wants to remain single, but wants to have fun like every man. We've been talking about women and how relationships like us blokes talk about. And I was saying to him that women, they'll hang on to you, but they're always like, well, not always, but quite often, they're keeping options open. Like if something better comes along, Does happen. Don't fool yourself, guys. Don't fool yourself. Okay, if you're married and you've got your soul partner and you're solid, great. But in relationships, quite often women are looking, and men do it too. Yeah. There's an old saying, never a day goes a man doesn't think about what he loves and what he's afraid to lose. I don't know if that actually has anything to do with that, but it just came into my head. So, you've got a fan.
Yep.
I've had fans over the years, and most of them are actually older than me too. Like, a lot older.
Seems to be the case, eh?
Yeah, that's okay. Technically, I'm taken, although I feel like I'm single because it's been a long time since I actually had my girlfriend stay here. Like, over 2 years, so. Pace, what you doing? He's wagging his tail. Look, he's all happy. What are you excited about? Suddenly he's all wagging his tail. You know, something's going down. So we're going to measure these perfectly, these posts. We're going to have one there and one there, and we're going to have two in the middle perfectly, so we can have the slats in the front, because we want it so the slats, you can take the slats out, so when you're like taking your compost and go to the next one, you can lower it right down rather than have to put your shovel in. And so we want it so they, do you understand?
Yeah.
So we want it so they're perfectly, and we want the slats so they're interchangeable, so you can take the slats out of that one and put it in the next one, so it's all interchangeable. That's my thinking on that. Right, one more post to pull out of the ground. Get going fast like that. I reckon you'd be pretty good at doing this, wouldn't you, with your hands, eh, young man?
Guy.
Imagine if I hit myself in the head, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? All for the content. Oh, it's a good workout. We're getting there, boy! We're getting there! Oh. Woo! There she goes, Papa Joe.
Yep. How's that for morning wood?
Fuck, I wish. Cool. I think this one's actually probably going to be okay. So we'll have enough. We'll see how we get on. So this wood here is a balcony that Arb pulled to bits from somebody because it was rotting. But some of it's quite good. And being treated means it won't rot. This will be bloody good actually, mate. How many more's there?
Oh, about 5 or 6 of them.
Brilliant. All the same size?
All the same size, yeah.
Happy days. He said to me, oh, women kind of like it when you say you're not interested in a relationship. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I did actually. I won't lie, bro.
You won't lie. And I said to him this, I said, yeah, they do like that because they think that they can change you. They think that they can be the one that wins your heart. And when I used to be playing music on the circuit in Germany, I'd meet women that I'd be playing music, and I'd say, look, I don't want a relationship. And they'd get with me, we'd go out for a date and stuff, and you know what happens, I won't tell you the rest. And then after a while, we might get into a relationship, because I had the odd girlfriend over there, and then they want to change her. She'd say, like, oh, you're going out playing music every night and in front of all those girls, I want you to spend time with me. And I'd say, oh, back up a minute. That's what I was doing when I first met you. That's what I do. Yes, but we need time together now. I'm sorry, but I can't change. It's what I love, what I do. Hence, I never got married. I never got married because same applies to Becky. I want to go fishing. I want to go hunting. And I'm not going to ask anybody for that. I'm just going to do it.
I guess you could say boys will be boys, but...
Yep.
Yeah.
So, the single man, we're a couple of bachelors here, really we are. And a bachelor life's a good life, but a man gets lonely sometimes, doesn't he, Papa Joe?
Yeah, I reckon that.
Bit of comfort would be nice sometimes.
Yeah.
I put an ad on Facebook twice asking for a woman to come here, not for that, but just to have some female energy because it gets pretty testosteroned out. No takers. And I think it's because women feel, and I can understand it, a little bit threatened that there's only men here. They wouldn't feel like a safe zone to be in. I can understand that. It is a safe zone. I'll make sure of that, but I can understand women not being comfortable to live here. I have had one woman before, I had a lot of women, had my daughter and 4 of her mates stay here for like weeks. See, they were in a group, they had their own tribe, so they were powerful. Eleanor, she stayed here for a while, and she was good. That was great. He's actually enrolling for the army, is that right?
That's the one, yep.
Yep, so he's not going to be here for that much longer anyway, because they could snap him up in 6 weeks. If there's civil unrest like there was in Melbourne and Sydney, they might need some army people. And yeah, civil unrest, bloody people. And that'll be you fighting the people, bro, having to do your job. How you feel about that?
Yes, mate. I guess you don't think about it as a soldier. Do what you're told.
That's it, eh? Don't think about it, just act. And you can't. That's why the military's not for everybody, because you've got to kind of like be a, I was going to say a slave, be a servant to the machine. Dylan, my neighbour, Murray's son, came over and said, yeah, we've got another post you can grab up here, so I'll go and grab that, and I'll let you fill that one, bud. Sure. So I'll carry on and go and find this other post up by the water tank, he said. Well, here's a post just lying under the bloody wattle here. Cool. Oh, we'll take this out. That's good. This was under the wattle tree, Papa Joe.
Hey.
Yeah, good score.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's the old water tank. Original one, there's some posts just lying here, look. This must be when they pulled the old ones out. So we can definitely use those. I'll get the chainsaw and I'll chop it, and that one's actually broken, but oh yeah, that one's buggered. That one's ready to fall apart just about now, I think. Yeah, she's a bit fucked. Oh, we'll cut it down and use it for something. And what's this one here like? Yeah, it's alright. It's a bit better. That one's in good nick. Can use that. There must be a load of these posts around the country with orchards and vineyards and places where people have taken stuff out just sitting somewhere. And I reckon you could make a log cabin out of these. They are tantalised, but there's a log cabin that's made out of tantalised actually old power poles on D'Urville Island. I've stayed in it. And it's just old telecom posts. So yes, you could construct. So if anybody's got any, let us know. Because we'd be interested to get them off you, buy them off you. So we can make another cabin for the young fellas that stay here. Yeah, she's broken that one, but we'll chop it and use it. Gonna get one more. Some of these are quite light, some aren't. It's a little bit heavier, but not too bad. There's blokes at work in fencing that'll be watching this that go, I carry 4 of them on my shoulder clay. I can remember when I used to fence, carrying tantalised fence posts around on my shoulder. Those days are gone, my shoulders are fucked. Because we're on a sloping hill here, finding level's not easy, and we don't have a laser, so old mate's going to put some water here. I'm just going to mark that. Right, you pop a bit of water in there, buddy. Cool.
Sweet.
So you got a little bit, oh yeah, that's good, no, it's perfect. Right. Rightio, that's our level. This one here. And we're going to go this side too. Trying to cut that that fair hand of yours. Wouldn't be too good, would it?
I'm going to probably cut myself anyway, knowing me.
Okay. Now we've got a level. So we'll level that one over there. Righto. Let's do the same again over here now. Okay, is there water on the top of it now?
Yep.
Bloody good. So about here. Is our mark? Just top her up a bit, buddy, at your end.
It's at the top now.
It's at the top, okay, cool. Right, we've got a level there, that's good. So we've got 4 levels, and from that we'll put our base in, and then we can work up. We can check it periodically if we want to with our hose, but we know the 4 levels to make sure that it's reasonably level. Otherwise we end up with something that's all crooked, and it's not efficient to have stuff that's crooked, even if it's just something as simple as a compost, because when you go to build it and you put your slats and everything, things don't fit together. That's the logic anyway. So this is from a job that Arb did on a bloke's balcony that was rotting. In some places you can see why they had to take it apart, it's just fallen to bits. I mean, this is just completely rotted right through. Shouldn't, because it's plywood, but it has, and there's no possible, you put your finger through it, there's no way that Arb could even work with that, and man, it's like compost. But there's other bits, and it's plywood, that are fine. And we've kept most of the good bits and thrown most of the old shit away. And this is going to be perfect for the job I'm doing. Look at the laminations here, that'll last for a long time. I don't know why, whether they didn't paint the ends. It looks like they never painted the ends, and that's why it's gone rotten. That's what I'm guessing. This chalk here Look at this here. And it's been nailed in. But this is bare wood here. So they built it without, you always paint your ends. And if you don't, you end up with that. And that's what they got. Very, very handy having this timber here, because right now during lockdown you can't get materials anywhere. And we're using the same timber on this garden down here. It's really good for a lot of stuff like that. That's my neighbour Murray up there working tractor today. I don't know if it's going to be long enough or not. Oh yep, I think so. Might just make it. Got a couple of the old arb screws, or the bugle batten screws at each end just to sit it on. And got my mark, gonna just drill into that. Depending on what happens in the future, but when I can afford it, I'm going to do a little pond down the front where the water flows into and create a little ecosystem. But right now we're at the top of the hill and we're just like starting at the beginning, and things like these bits of wood, second-hand resources, are just so valuable, because if we were to buy wood like this, it's the same wood behind me here for this garden I just planted up. See that there? You can see that there along there. It's the same timber. It saved us so much. Couldn't afford to put this in. There's probably a couple of $1,000s worth of timber there if you're buying it. Okay, it's a bit rotten in place, you can cut that out and make do, but upcycling, recycling, I'm all for that. It means we can get stuff done and start growing food and feeding ourselves from the land and those people we love. Now Daniel will be here for a few more weeks, and when he goes in the army, his accommodation will come up for some other young guy that wants to come here and sort his life out a bit more and get himself on track. Generally younger guys I have, but also people that are prepared to do a bit of work and help for what's going on around here. Right, I'm going to put that one in. Thank you, Reese and Pip. This has just been such a good gift. This came from them. These tools are really good, Jones Way, and I splashed out and I bought this after talking to Arb for a long time. I'm glad I bought it before lockdown. It's battery operated and it's brushless. I've never had a brushless one before, and I bought it actually to work on the houseboat because there's no power down there like that, and today I'm going to use it for this job. Nice brand new blade in there. Smack that on top, and like every new tool, you should read the manual first, unless you're a bloody idiot like me. Nipped up nice and tight. Let's go cut some wood. Beautiful. Okay, here we're looking. Two. There's this one gonna go. I reckon Arb would be pretty proud of me. It's flush, not bad for compost. Well, that's as far as we get to do on this project. It's a good start for our compost, but whether it's gonna turn to shit any moment, I gotta go down the houseboat and check that. I go down there every day. So tomorrow we'll carry on with that job. It's going to be very, very cool to get it finished. I might try and get some more horse poo, because horse poo for your compost is really good, and it's $2 a bag. We know why he's wagging his tail. Yeah. You can smell it, can't you? Yeah, there it goes. Okay, sit down, sit down. Not yet, not yet. Sit. Okay, here we go. Here we go, he loves them. You want to chew? I hold it. How you going to eat that, mate? How you going to eat that? You going to sit down? Right? I'm going to get down the back of the seat. I bought these at the Foursquare. And the only dog that gets them is Pace. He's spoiled. They're possum sticks, possum sticks. You like that, don't you? It smells good. It smells like jerky. Making a bit of a mess. I hope you're going to clean that up. It's interesting how this herb is thyme, has actually survived in this really, really harsh condition of wind and sea. Seems to do okay. Geez, you'd think I'd just come back from bloody war. Old mate here jumps on me when I come in. He's like all over me. He's a good boy. Dogs, us humans don't deserve dogs, we really don't. They're just so loyal. Mind you, you can sometimes be a bit naughty, can't you, eh? Yeah. Makes my day better, that's for sure. Does the dog make your day better? He's a good dog. They give you unconditional love. If you didn't have enough money to feed them, they'd still love you. And even if you're a grumpy old bastard, they still love you. They don't care if you stink. No, you're not sitting on my knee. No, you're not. No, you're not. I know what he wants to do now. He wants to get on my knee. No, you're not. All right, mate, in the back. Pace in the back. Pace in the back. 3 times. He doesn't want to go away from you. In the back. Good boy. He doesn't like that. He'll be back here before you know it. Right, there's the boat checked. And sat down by the fire and answered a few of my patrons' questions and emails. Sorry for all the rest of you guys, I haven't had a chance. It's just, there's not enough hours in a day, but I do what I can. We're in luck. That's the blue duck. Apparently if you fold her face in half, she looks old on one side and young on the other. Well, that's the young side, and apparently that's the old side. Yeah, maybe it is. Did I wake you up, mate, eh? You've been asleep the whole time. Let's take this off you. Gee, that did come off very easy. You didn't tie that very well, did I? Hey, what you doing, Pace? You up for a walk there, Bruno? Take your blanket off, eh, mate? Yeah, getting old, boy. Hey, the old back end struggling to get up now. You okay to get up? No, you going to get up all right? Yeah, he's struggling. The day's not too far away, is it, fella, hey? We can no longer stand up. Oh, yep, go through the window. You all right, buddy? Come on, buddy. He's good, he's good. Pretty stiff. Tonight I'm making a venison salad, and I'm going to be using this kefir, and the lime that it produces is absolutely fantastic for salads. One of my favourite ones when I go to a Thai restaurant is the Thai beef salad, and they use kefir, lime and also the leaf as well, because the leaf has got a really nice flavour when you mix it with a few other bits and pieces. I'm not going to film that one tonight because I'll be up too late editing to finish this video, but I will show you in the future my Thai beef salad. Pace, leave that chicken alone. Just trying to get that chicken, who's rounding up. Go, mate.
How's it going?
You ever done Thai beef salad? Made one?
Nope.
So this is what you use kefir, and I ran out of time today to show everybody how it goes, but kefir salad, you use the leaf and use the lime, and the lime itself.
Right.
And you do your steak just very quick, and you cut it up and you mix it with your vegetables. Absolutely delicious. So I'm doing one with venison tonight, but I'm going to do, in the future I'll do one and I'll show you how to do it. Yeah. What are you cooking tonight?
I already had it.
Yep.
So I mixed the rabbit with the pork.
Oh, you mixed the rabbit with the pork. How was that?
Fucking good, bro.
Yeah. So we've had rabbit and pork. The pork was smoked and the rabbit was cooked a couple of nights ago on the spit. Yeah.
Oh man, it was good because I did the same trick last night.
Yeah.
Barbecue sauce, garlic, pepper, and then just fried it up like that.
Yeah, right.
Get a bit of a char.
Oh, is there any of that left at all? Is it all gone now?
You can pick pieces off, but there's not much left.
Yeah, no, smash it in the compost, mate, so the dogs can't get it.
Right, we'll do.
Yep. Currently our compost is over here. This is our compost. We've got these two, but soon we're going to be upgrading. This one here's got all sorts of goodies in it. It's got my son's leaf litter from his cat. There's a bit of rubbish that shouldn't be in there, plastic. Yeah, a lot of eggs and bones. We put bones in here because dogs shouldn't eat cooked bones, and that stops them from getting it. Right, going to walk dogs, feed them, and then sit down and edit this, and then I'm going to make my venison salad. My Thai venison salad, if there's such a thing. I'm just replacing beef with venison. Take these guys for their walk. Pace, you've been stealing eggs, you little bastard. He's got an egg over there. And I'll see you tomorrow, because I need to give these guys my attention. Hey, Pope. Hey, Pope. Come on. It's your third run today. Big Z. Big Z. I really got a lot of faith in this dog. Big Z. You're a good boy, aren't you? Let's go. Good dog. What's the body language like? Alright? Oh, he's peeing right. You dirty bastard. Don't pee on Big Z. I don't know, Big Z. What do you reckon? That's your father. He's a bit of a prick, isn't he? Okay, mate. Don't you go too far. Pace, get in behind. What are you doing? Heel up. Feels like a storm's coming. It's getting cold. Hey guys, I have to keep my eyes on the dogs, particularly Pace, because I'm walking the whole lot together. When I walk them together, Pace sometimes is a little bit trying to alpha on everybody else. So I better concentrate. B! Get him, B! Come on. Be good, can't be good, be careful. We'll see you in tomorrow's video. I'm trying to pump one out every day. I am pumping one out every day while we're in lockdown. There you go. That'll do. Good boy. Good boy, Bixie. Good boy, Bixie.